Hi, I'm Lenny, one of the partners here at Carolina Land Buyers, and we typically purchase around 8 to 10 pieces of land a month in the state of North Carolina. We're looking to increase that. If we can double it before the end of the year, that is one of our goals. So what I want to do is continue sharing education and some recent closings in the form of some case studies. That way, hopefully, we educate you out there and can connect as far as different situations if you own land. So let's get started. Now this recent closing actually took place in Lincolnton, North Carolina. The homeowner and his wife are not new to real estate. They actually own quite a few pieces of land and rental properties. But at this point, they're in their retirement phase and are looking to sell off a few of their properties year over year. Just happened to be that timing was right with us. We sent them a postcard, actually one for each of their two lots that they had on that specific street in Lincolnton. They were both way different as far as size and shape and some of the features that came on the lots. So we made actually two separate offers on a postcard we sent them. And it was within range enough, and they liked what they heard and saw with that to give us a call. So I guess the main issues they had personally and why they were considering selling was at this point they were not active in real estate, so they had no plans to build or use the lots for timber purposes, and were just putting money as far as taxes and making sure the lots stayed relatively clean for the city, and it was just eating some dollars at this point. But also he wanted to make sure that from a capital gains tax perspective, the amounts made sense, and that he wasn't selling too much property in 1 year. So after he confirmed that financially it made sense with his CPA and his team as far as finances go, we were able to talk through these two parcels and work with him and work out a deal ultimately. The main benefits, I would say, to us working with him on these were that actually both lots were partially in flood zones. So, we had to do a lot of diligence on top of the initial diligence that we already put into these lots to make sure that they could be developed for future use and that we weren't, being impactful for the environment, and also didn't deal with any restrictions from the city and the state as far as the flood maps go and some of the buffers and restrictions that come along with flood zone areas. But enough of each of the lots were out of the flood zone that we had to clear as far as condition wise on that. And, the biggest thing he wanted, which we were able to come through, was a hassle-free, as he called it, or an as-is sale. He wanted to make sure that we knew what we were doing with these, that we would pay as far as any costs associated, whether it was closing costs to get the transaction done, or any costs going into the land itself before closing. He did not want to be responsible for any surveys or any extracurricular work if that were to be a requirement. So we took all of that burden off of him and put it on us to get this done. At the end of the day, we were able to close the one lot, the smaller of the two, in his time frame before the end of the month, which he was super excited about. And then the other lot we closed 2 weeks later. It was just under 14 acres, so it was actually a very large lot, but we were able to close that in a very quick time frame. That way he had the money way before the end of the year. He could get his tax strategy straight, and then he also had some grandkids. We found out later on where he wanted to spend a little bit of money on them before the summer was over and their school year started. So pretty cool. Timing is everything. That ended up being the case here. So it was a really cool outcome, and I think we had some happy campers at the end of the day. But if you like what you heard, you enjoyed that story, it's one of many over here, and I hope you learned something, like I mention every time. But I hope you took something away from this, and feel free to keep exploring my library of content. I'm going to try to keep putting content and information out there daily going forward, and until next time, talk to you soon.